accomplished.
As a Hall of Famer, lockdown Jordan in the NBA Finals.
I don't think that's true, though. Played as a rookie in the NBA Finals Game 5. Somebody was hurt, and then somebody else couldn't guard Jordan, so yeah. As a rookie, the head coach of the Lakers said, Tony, I don't know if he called him Tony, Mr. Smith, get in there. He'll let us know. No, I think we'll have to ask him. He's not good at this stuff. He tied the Marquette record with 44 points. And then 10 days later scored 43 and would have broken it. But Kevin O'Neal thought that Butler was kind of trying to foul him, and he didn't want to get him hurt because he was so important to the success of the team, which did make the NIT. Joining us now is Tony Smith. All right, Tony, of all that you accomplished, what are you most proud of?
What's up, gentlemen? How you guys doing?
You want to be social. Doing fine, Tony. How are you doing?
I got to work with Homer. That's my biggest accomplishment.
Oh, God.
By far. Easy. Next question. What's the next question?
All right, here we go. Next question. What's the second most thing that's occurred in your life, basketball, that you're most proud of?
Oh, basketball?
Yeah.
Man. I don't know, man. It was a great ride for me. I don't know. I did a lot of stuff. Met a lot of people. Been a lot of places. Life experiences, Homer. That's the big thing.
Oh, you guarded Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals. Tell me how anything could be bigger than that. Go ahead. All right. How do you say that?
Yeah. Hey, man, we lost. Why are you trying to bring up bad memories?
Because you're a rookie and you're playing against, in the NBA Finals, arguably the greatest player to ever play the game, and he's in his prime.
Yeah, because these guys were scared to guard him.
Were they?
Yes. A lot of them were.
And you weren't?
No. What do I got to lose? I'm a rookie.
Well, I don't know if then you would have told all the other players, what are you scared? Or what? That's what you would have told them.
They called it Jordanitis. People used to come up with Jordanitis when you play the Bulls. You get sick.
And that's true.
That's true. You can ask a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, I got you. I believe you.
A lot of shooting guards had illnesses during those games.
I can see if you weren't any good, but are you saying it actually was shooting guards that were good?
I don't think it was a variety of people. Yeah.
All right. I mean, then I'm thinking if you're just happy to be in the league and nothing special, I could see that. But if you're a player of some ability, let's go. Let's give it a shot. I mean, my answer would be, no one is going to blame you. Nobody could stop him. So it's not like you're going to be a failure if he puts up 35, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
What do you got to lose? That's what I saw.
But you say
playing with house money over here. Let's go.
What was it? What was it? A phrase? Jordanitis.
Jordanitis. They couldn't put that on the stat sheet though. You know, the stat sheet when you say missing DNP-CD, that's did not play coach's decision, or you got leg or something, but they couldn't write Jordanitis on there. So they wrote illness.
Do you think people knew
non-sports illness?
Do you think people knew it when it was occurring?
Yeah, it wasn't like there was sickness. You know what it was more of? It was more like a guy, maybe he was banged up a little bit and he's like, we're playing the Bulls now, I can't go tonight.
Right. No, yeah. I wouldn't have been scared of him.
You?
No.
Of course not. You'd have been on the bench, so you wouldn't have had to worry about him.
The truth hurts. That's correct.
Yeah.
But when you played him in Game 5, you were on the bench and you didn't think you were going to get in, right? Somebody got hurt.
No, I played him before that.
Right, but
during the season.
Not to the degree of that game. You played a ton of minutes in that game.
No, well, actually, no. During the season, I had. During the season, I also had. Magic went down. He got a concussion, and I had to play the entire fourth quarter.
Well, I can't imagine being as good as you, but I can't imagine having better answers about what I enjoyed most about my basketball career. No,
what do you enjoy most about your tennis career? Let's hear some good answers.
Going to the Nationals and defeating a team that we'd have lost to them 99 times in 100, and one was the number 3 player at USC, and the other was a number 1 player at UCal Irvine. And so in college ranking, that would have put one at like 25 and then the other one at 50. And you know what I was ranked?
What?
2020.
Oh,
if even that high.
The rankings go that far?
No, I just invented that. I think I might have been 4,000. So, and the only reason we won is because it was indoors. It was raining in Kalamazoo, Michigan, so we played indoors. They had never played indoors before.
Oh, okay.
So we beat them in 2 tiebreakers, and then we go out the next day and get on the court to play. And it was another California team. And yes, I remember their name's Warren Eber. He played at Arizona when I was there. He played number 1. I played number 9. Anyway, he says, "What are you guys doing here?" I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, no, we're playing Chris Lewis and maybe it was Thornburg. We're playing Lewis and Thornburg." I go, "No, you're not." He goes, "What do you mean, no, we're not?" "We are." I go, "No, we beat them." He goes, "You beat them?" He didn't even know who we were, and they did beat us. So yeah, to do that, there were many fluky aspects to any success I had. But yeah, when you're a nobody, which you of course can't relate to, my theory, you just want to have your day. You want to have your moment. I had a couple moments. All the other times I lost and did nothing of any significance, I don't care. You just want that moment. I had a couple, and that was good enough. You never thought that way one day of your life.
Thought I was a nobody?
No, that you wanted to have those special moments. You can't even name the special. Come on, you could against Butler. You could have put up 60, right?
Yeah, they were fouling too much.
Yeah.
They were mad. At that point, it was, you're not supposed to score because you're up too much. So,
and people should know this because I spend all my time promoting Tony Smith. We go out to events with followers of Marquette. Tony says nothing, and then I have to go to my Tony Smith stores, and then I look over at Tony. He's going, "Gosh, Homer, don't you have anything new? I've heard these like a million times." So to score 44 when being coached by Kevin O'Neill is actually like scoring 70 because how conservative he was offensively. If you'd have been playing for, let's say, the coach at Alabama, the way they play.
Who's in Alabama?
Oates.
What's his name?
Is it Oates?
Oates.
Yeah, the way they play, you'd have put up 60 multiple games. Right?
Creighton, too. Creighton gets up and down the floor.
There you go. Yeah. And it's never entered your mind. I mean, right now you're thinking, fine, Homer, whatever. Come on, let's move on. All right, let's get to the big stuff. And this is why I wanted to have you on.
Big stuff. All right, what we got?
This is historic. This could be. You have to watch it on TV. You got to watch. This could be the final game Giannis ever plays for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Really?
Yes, really.
Why? But why are you thinking that, though? Just because what's happened the last few years?
And I'll put it this way. If you were Giannis, given all the restrictions and the players and all this kind of stuff, would you want to come back here next year?
Well, it would be kind of weird because before the injury to Dame, I would say yes.
I agree.
The problem is Dame is now going to be out next year.
Yes.
So what are they going to do? They're locked up.
Yes.
And they already have zero depth.
Yes.
I mean,
keep going.
I mean, it makes it very difficult to be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to waste a year. Giannis is not 25.
Yes.
So I don't know I don't know what's going to happen. Let's just say there's a chance it could not go well.
Well, I'll make you the general manager. Now, if Giannis wants to come,
Bucks are up 9-0 right now. Let's go. What are you talking about?
It's actually 11-0 now.
Giannis is feeling good. Yeah.
Good.
He's feeling good about the team. Just kidding. I mean, I don't, dude. Like it's not good.
I know.
This
That's
is what
why
it's
I
like.
ask you.
I know, but I don't know what Giannis is. Isn't Giannis like the super loyal guy?
Yes.
Isn't that what the narrative is out there?
Yes. The theory is that given what happened in Dallas, where they didn't talk to Doncic before they traded him, and all the fans are mad that the Bucks could never do the same, even if they were thinking about it with Giannis. So Giannis would have to say to them, I want out. Mm-hmm. And the theory is they're not sure that Giannis would want to do that, is the kind of guy who could do that. But as you just so appropriately responded to all the issues, there's just a lot of things, and it's all bad.
It is.
Right?
It is. It does. There's a lot of things that point to there's no reason for him really to hang around. So, but again, you and I aren't Giannis. We don't know what his motivations are. And again, he seemed like the guy who is loyal as much as loyal can be. Now, listen, I know because I know how sports is. You're only loyal till I don't want to be loyal.
Well, you tried to teach me this. I just want to tell before Tony does it, Tony's number one rule for all fans. Please understand that for players, it's a business. It's their job. And also for the team, it's a business. They don't care about the players. They care about their business. Don't ever forget it. Correct. And therefore, never, ever, ever be mean to a player for thinking about himself ahead of the team because Correct. It just means you don't get it. How'd I do with my Tony Smith?
You did perfect because I can tell you right now, I was at the mall when I got traded.
What?
No one told me. I was at the mall when I got traded from Phoenix to Miami. I was at the mall. Agent called me. Hey, they just traded you.
Did you have any idea that
just out of the blue? No, I was at the dang mall. Why would I have? If I had an idea, I'd be packing.
I don't mean then. I meant at any point in your career.
Did I have an idea? No.
Yeah. Okay.
No. No. But I mean, you would think that someone of Giannis' stature would have an idea. They would at least be letting him know something. I don't know. But listen, you got it right. The teams are loyal until they don't want to be.
Right.
So
it's my Tony Smith rule number one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever be rude or ever think and be rude to a player who thinks of himself before the team and makes you think, how could you be that selfish?
As a matter of fact, I'd be mad the opposite way. If you're like putting the team ahead of yourself, dumb.
Right. But I'm saying the you allow for a lot of beliefs of fans about players and are accepting of them. That one I've never heard you even one day even say, well, no, it's no.
No. I mean, I get the fans. Your perspective is you like the team. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You want, but that's not the player's perspective.
It's now 13-zip.
It's the job. Yeah, the Bucks are playing, but, they're so tired right now because they have to play so hard that they're not going to be able to sustain that. Trust me. This will be a tight game before you know it. That's just the way it goes.
It would be impressive to come back and play Game 6 in Milwaukee, though, wouldn't it? Giannis, if Giannis could lead this team to coming back from 3-1 down against Indiana, it would rank as his greatest accomplishment outside of winning the championship, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right? There's no one that thinks he can do it, given the team and. All right. So you.
I don't think they can do it. They're not going to win 3 games in a row. Again, like I'm telling you, I'm watching right now. They're playing super hard. defensively. That was their whole problem. They couldn't defend. I mean, Indiana was getting 120 points a game.
Why not?
Because Indiana's too deep. It's coming from too many places.
Oh.
Like for the Bucks, it was coming from Giannis mostly. So it was kind of easy to defend. But when Indiana, they got like 7 guys in double figures, 8 guys in double figures. Like, what are you doing? Who are you going to defend?
But what's the approach that you have to take? Is there a way that you have to play?
Well, the first thing is you got to do what they're doing right now is they're not allowing penetration.
Right.
And that's what they weren't doing the first 2 games. Like everybody, McConnell's getting in the paint. Halliburton's getting in the paint. So
you live and die with their
getting
threes.
in the paint. So, I mean, they just get easy kickouts. You know, you and I always talk about on the Marquette show. I know you always want to talk about make or miss. But it's the quality of shots you get. If you continuously get great looks, you're probably going to make more shots. If you get terrible looks, you're going to make less shots.
By the way,
Indiana was just getting great shots.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't listened, you should, because Tony's other area of expertise is it doesn't matter if the shot is made or missed. If it's too easy, you will mention it.
Yeah, you're going to be in trouble giving up easy looks constantly.
Even if they miss it.
Yeah, even if they miss a couple, you're going to be in trouble later.
And you will always bring that up. The only thing you bring up more is when I maybe go too far, and you have to say, "Oh, Homer, come on."
which you often do.
That's fine. It's happy to have you correct me. All right, so Tony will try take 2 on what he would do if he was Giannis at the end of this season. And what is appropriate for fans to feel or think about what could happen after this year. Round 2 with Tony Smith next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound 43, watch for backups out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slowing down from Keefe down through the Marquette down to the KK River. Westbound 94, that's got some backups out of the Marquette to Mitchell Boulevard. You're back on the brakes from just west of 84th Street all the way to the county line, and then again from about Calhoun to Brookfield Road, and then from Blue Mound all the way through to about Highway 164, where there is an accident off on the left shoulder, just past Highway F. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly clear, chilly, a low of 37 at the lake, 34 inland. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a chance of rain later on, a high of 50 at the lake, 58 inland. Weather is brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. The Spring Vintage Weekend Series is coming up May 16th through the 18th. Get your tickets today and check out the full season schedule at roadamerica.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
And now, unless there's a big boy trade coming that I don't see on the horizon, Green Bay is going to run this thing back and probably pick up an early round draft pick to add to that room.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And you hope that these other guys will emerge and can add, but I don't see them making a J.R. Ewing type change.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at 3rd Street Market Hall, Milwaukee, Brought Stop Kenosha, Bullwinkle's Brookfield, Curly's Waterfront Pewaukee, and the new Fashion Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
Biz Expo is May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center. Spend the day at the kickoff keynote event on resilient leadership, thriving and enduring in challenging times, and make connections with customers and other business leaders. Learn from the experts at the strategy seminars on topics focused on technology and innovation, business growth, leadership, and manufacturing solutions. Biz Expo is Tuesday, May 13th. Register now to attend. Biz Expo is May 13th. Go to biztimes.com/bizexpo.
Oh, can't show you in there.
Why not?
That's the bathroom. We need a new shower bad.
Think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin? Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Luxstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contests. This is the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Tony Smith on the John Anderson Homer Hour, because no one better to talk about Giannis and the possibility that this could be Giannis's final game for the Milwaukee Bucks. If they lost and the series was over, would he want to come back next season? By the way, the Bucks are up now 15-5. So that's how I present it. If you ever listen to Marquette Basketball, Tony often finds other ways to present it that are slightly different than what I said. What do you believe, Tony, is appropriate for thinking about, if you even would, about the future of Giannis with the Milwaukee Bucks? Take it away.
Yeah, I just think you got to look at everything. Giannis is what, 30? I mean, you can,
he's 31, 30. He's going to be 32. I'll look up exactly. Yeah.
Something like that. But so I mean, listen, Giannis wants to win. We know that. Currently, with the way the Bucks are constructed, or the money, they have the money tied up.
He is 30. I stand corrected.
Yeah, and him and Dame, it's going to be. I mean, it's just going to be tough to win. I mean, you're either going to have to.
Is it fair to say, we should have addressed, is it fair to say that Dane is unlikely to play all next season with an Achilles?
Yes, I would say that's fair. He's not going to, I mean, best case scenario, he plays in March, but I doubt it. I mean, that's a little under a year, which is nowadays with the therapy and depending on, I don't know, the severity of what he did, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard thing that Dame will play next season during the season. Playoffs, yeah, if they could get into the playoffs without him, yeah, but then what seed are you going to be, right? You're going to be facing the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed. So there's that, and then you got a Dame who hasn't played all year to come play. I mean, I don't know how attractive that is. Giannis wants to win right now, and there's obviously if Giannis is on the board, there's going to be a lot of teams wanting to grab him. So then you got to look at, if you're the Bucks, all right, we're going to go in there, rebuild. You know, you're going to get a haul for Giannis. You know that, unless you just do like Dallas and give him away, basically. But I don't think they're going to do that. But if I'm Giannis, I don't know. I just don't know how Giannis feels. I would probably be thinking, yeah, the run is over here. Let's everybody move on.
How about, knowing Giannis the way it is, I'll give it one more year. I know it's going to be different, younger players, whatever. Just because I'm Giannis, I'll give him one more year.
Well, I mean,
that's what we should hope for.
Let's put it this way. Yeah, if that I could very well see that happening. It's very well plausible that could happen. Giannis could have that attitude. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't.
Yeah. And you wouldn't hold it against him?
No, 100%. I would not. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to be mad, but that's just I want my toy. That's all that is. Like,
what would you say to those fans? And I think there would be very few understanding why he would leave, given what has occurred, none of which is his fault other than the injuries. What would you say to fans who are in any way upset with Giannis if he went somewhere else?
I would say, too bad. Shut up.
Wait.
That's what I would say. I would say, too bad.
Yo, mama. Too bad. Shut up. I was hoping for a little more insight.
No, well, I mean, there is no insight. The guy is. It's about him. Because here's the thing. Yeah. What's going to happen? Those fans, like, when they start talking about Giannis after he's retired, okay, what did he win? He's got one championship. He stayed in Milwaukee all those years, didn't do anything else. They couldn't get the team back together because they had some bad luck. I mean, how many years in a row are they going to have injuries in the playoffs? This is like 4 years in a row.
This would be 3, I think. But
4.
Is it 4? All right.
It's like 4 years in a row. Key injuries in the playoffs. So, I mean, it's not like it's somebody's fault. It's just bad luck. It's just bad luck.
Yes.
And now
you know what Kawhi Leonard's fans feel like.
Right, but the bottom is bad luck. But the bottom line is 4 years. Yeah. It's 4 years of my career that have been gone because we can't compete at the level we need to. Not that you didn't have the team, and I don't even know with Lillard, do you really have a team to compete for the championship? Nah, I don't know.
When he comes back, the answer is, you know the answer. The answer is no.
Yeah, right. And a lot of guys, I mean, even to compete this year if they were healthy, they need a lot of guys to really step up and play a lot better and more consistent. To be completely honest, like Trent Jr., he's got to be way more consistent. You got to get something from the other guys' Prince. I mean, some guys got to play a lot more consistent if the Bucks are going to be challenging anyway. We already talked about the depth on Indy's team. Like, they got a bunch of guys who can get out there and play quality minutes. I mean, so that's what you want your depth to look like. The Bucks aren't that deep, and that's why I don't know if they could compete at that level. So Giannis sticking around is, to be honest with you, it's 50-50 at best for Bucks fans. So you guys better buckle your seatbelts and get ready for some bad news if he goes. Be very happy if he decides to stay, but listen, don't be shocked. I mean, and don't be hating on him because he wants to go win somewhere.
And remember what Tony Smith said when it was first brought up. Too bad.
No, listen,
shut up.
Homer, here's the problem. Like, those fans who are going to be mad, they're not for 1 second putting themselves in Giannis's mind frame. They're not saying, like, okay, listen, I'm this guy. First of all, because they can't imagine being that guy. That's probably the problem. They can't imagine being that guy. So, but that's what you have to do. You got to say, hey, okay, if I'm Giannis, I'm 30. I'm watching LeBron play till he's like 70, 100 years old. So I'm going to play some more years, but I want to win championship because when they talk about me, I don't want to only have one championship.
Yeah,
I want to have multiple championships. It ain't going to happen here if I sit around in Milwaukee, or I'll wait 5 years to have another chance, or however long it takes them to get a championship caliber team on the floor. I can probably get traded to a team now and push them over the top. So, sorry, I want to win 3 or 4 more championships probably in the next 7-8 years before I'm done.
I know it's not fair to you, but I don't know that you'll ever say anything that I'll remember as well as, too bad, shut up.
It is. That's what it is. Like, forget it, man. You guys are worried about some stupid. I'm worried about my career. How are they going to talk about me afterwards? So I gotta stack chips.
See, I thought you'd say, look, I'd appreciate how good he was, how well he's been, all the positive things about Giannis.
Yeah,
nope, that's not Tony. Too bad.
I shouldn't have to tell him that. They should already be appreciated. He brought you a championship. Relax.
Yeah.
You should give the guy free reign. Let him do what he wants to do.
It is 4 years. They lost to Boston in
Right.
Conference semifinals in 7 games, and then the injuries have been real bad the last couple.
Right. So, 4 years of bad luck, of injuries at the wrong time. I mean, how much can I give you guys? Like, you fans who want to keep them around, you just want to keep taking and taking and taking.
So if you're Giannis, what do you say? Do you just assume everybody's going to be mad, or how do you explain it, or do you even not waste the time?
If you're Giannis,
yeah,
you don't. Hey, listen, you don't care if you're Giannis. What are you going to do? Look what LeBron did. LeBron's like, all right, Cleveland, I'm going to give you one. I'm out. I'm not sticking around, and I'm from here. Giannis is not from here.
Yeah.
He came. He gave you guys a bunch of years, and he gave you a championship. Leave me alone.
Is there anything that you want to add other than too bad, shut up?
I think too bad, shut up sums it up pretty good.
There'll never be another Tony Smith. Thanks for coming on. We will talk again when it's important enough to bring you on.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Thanks.
Yeah.
See you guys.
You bet. Tony Smith. Pebble, do you think it's possible for anybody who's listening to remember anything else Tony ever said?
No, that's the only thing I'm going to remember.
Too bad. Shut up. Jason Wilde. Oh, wait. First, I want to do Fisco. Fisco Auto Body, I tell you about them so you'll like them. They're that good. Then you'll like me. Here's how it works. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. Family business, auto body place. You're set. Kids are set. You got your auto body place. Family business owned since 1931. It's not what they do, it's who they are. Generation after generation. So imagine how long they've been doing this before they even do it for your car. That's how they're that good. Expert workmanship guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. Fisco, so you remember the name. Is there any chance that Jason Wilde can come up with a legendary line as good, historic, as the one we just got from Tony Smith? We'll find out next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Westbound 94, right about at the ramp from Highway F, we've got an accident off on the left shoulder. We've got a crash then on the eastbound side, right at the ramp from Barker Road. That one's on the left shoulder. So watch for delays through those areas. We've also got an issue westbound 94 at Hawley Road, crash on the right shoulder. Delays coming in from about 25th Street to that point. We've also got one on 894 eastbound, right about at 76th Street. The left lane is blocked right now, so that's going to be tying things up right out of the Hale interchange. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly clear, chilly with the low of 37 at the lake, 34 inland. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, chance of rain later on, a high of 50 at the lake, 58 inland. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to American writer H.L. Mencken, a well-stocked bar can create over 17 billion different cocktails. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. I don't know if 17 billion is accurate or not, but I do know that Discount Liquor is the place to find everything you need to be well-stocked for any occasion. Discount Liquor is Wisconsin's home to over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. Our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. And we know how to take care of our customers, no matter the occasion. In fact, Discount Liquor has won numerous national and local awards. Visit Discount Liquor at our Milwaukee or Waukesha locations. Family owned and operated since 1960.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Buying and selling a home can be a stressful process. Hey, it's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. The We Sell group at Keller Williams has a goal of making it stress-free for everyone. Their passion is people, their availability is unmatched, something I'm experiencing firsthand while I search for a lake home to enjoy Wisconsin summers even more. Rob and Nick are there every step of the way, not just for their sellers, but also to potential buyers and their agents to bring in as many strong offers as possible. Get started today at wesell.kw.com. That's wesell.kw.com.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnofthebog.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest until 2030, plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN. It's time for Jason Wilde on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Can he be as legendary as Tony Smith? Well, Jason Wilde will have the chance to discuss Jaire Alexander. I, of course, I don't know if I had 0%, maybe 1%. Others, I believe, were at about 5%, and they have changed. Something is going on worthy of some discussion. Jason, good evening.
Good evening, Stephen. How are you?
I'm awesome, but a bit sad. Though the Bucks are up 18 with the understanding of the possibility that this could be Giannis's last game with the Bucks.
You've certainly said that kind of stuff a lot lately.
I've told people all year that just go to see as many games that it could happen. Now, I'm hoping that Giannis is so nice that given all the difficulties the team has in terms of putting a group together, and I said this before any injury to Damian Lillard, I'm hoping that with the new team or young players or whatever they do, that Giannis will give them 1 year before he leaves. Because he's still young. It's not as if he's limiting what he could do somewhere else. So that's my wish. Giannis.
Yeah, they're definitely cooked now, though.
Yes, and so they're cooked. Give us 1 year to see what we can do while cooked. See how the team.
Well, maybe he's. If anybody strikes you as someone who would stick it out and want to face the challenge of figuring out a way to be good again after Lillard's injury and everything else, he strikes me as the type of guy that would do that. So.
And more people would be willing to accept my theory this could be his last year. But yeah, I think that's what you're saying. And yeah, let's just give him 1 year and let's see what happens with, as you said, and everybody's aware of, and it's gonna be the lead story in the offseason, all the different limitations that exist for the Bucks to try to put a team together, a new team.
They've got a 35-year-old guy with a ruptured Achilles that's got a very large contract. They don't have any first-round picks that are any good.
Right, and
if they even have them at all. Yeah,
and Lillard, it's fair. Lillard's not going to play next season. You'd hope, but
wouldn't think so.
Yeah, and why take the extra risk of trying to come back soon? I mean, I'm Damian Lillard, gone for a year. I'll do whatever so that I can be ready for the start of the following season. All right, let's get to Jaire Alexander. And I'm happy to talk about it because there's so many fascinating parts to it. But I would ask you, what do you want people to think right now and feel that it's as accurate as it can be? Well, nobody.
Yeah, I mean, this is why we always say, let's not do 0% or 100%.
Correct.
Because you never quite know. Now, do I still think from an odds perspective it's still most likely over? I do. I have always thought, and we've talked about this, that it's not like Jaire Alexander going somewhere else is going to get paid some exorbitant sum. He's got to be able to prove that he's going to stay healthy and be the player that he's been in 2020 and 2022. And so it's not like if the Packers released him, he would suddenly sign a new deal with, $40 million guaranteed. That's just not the scenario. Again, I don't know what they have. I have not talked to Goody or LaFleur in the last couple of days. Again, anytime a general manager says he's on our roster for now, we all know that's code. But we don't plan on him being on the roster. Now, if somehow this becomes a, keep the marriage going for the kids type of deal where, well, I don't have anybody else I really like more, and you don't have a new team that you like more, so let's see what we can do together for another year and work it out. That's never been out of the realm of possibility. At the same time, I don't want this to suddenly turn into, he's definitely coming back. Because, let's not lose sight of the fact of how frustrated this team was. And as you have pointed out, how frustrated he was about the way that he was, the injury was doubted or people showed public frustration, all that stuff. That bothered him too. So, again, there's a reason why he stood in the middle of the locker room on clean-out day after the loss to the Eagles and declared, I don't even know, you don't want to talk to me, I don't even know if I'm going to be here next year. There's a reason why Keyshawn Nixon felt comfortable in proclaiming himself CB1 when Jaire was very much still on the roster. But the draft did not fall in a manner that the Packers were able to add a corner when they felt comfortable adding one. So maybe both teams look at it, or both sides look at it and go, okay, well, maybe we can work something out. Maybe we can get past this, but I still think that that's a low probability.
In agreeing with something could happen, while I certainly believe that Jaire is not happy with kind of what was said directly or indirectly, he hasn't said, I'm not coming back. What
he hasn't said anything.
I know. But I mean, he could easily say, hey, don't worry about the Packers. Say, look at me. I'm not playing for this team ever again. But
yeah,
what and why has the advice from his team been not to say anything?
Yeah, I don't know his agent well, but I don't feel like you've seen the kind of, like, for other corners, big name guys, they usually can't bite their tongues. Either their agents can't or they can't, right? And in this case, like, again, he's under contract. He holds the cards because if he wants to leave, and the Packers are like, look, we actually would like to keep him, but you got to take a pay cut, he can say no, and then either they have to decide to pay him what he's owed or move on from him. I mean, there's always the possibility, too, that he could get the Josh Sitton treatment, which was, if you remember in 2016, him going through camp and being this surprise cut at the end of camp because he was grousing about his not getting an extension, and they just said, all right, well, you went through all of training camp, and then they cut him. So that's still a possibility, too. Do I know for certain that Jaire Alexander will or will not line up in his number 23 green jersey on opening day for the Green Bay Packers? I don't. Do I think it's most likely, whether it's now or a trade comes together in June, or they move on from him during training camp or at the end of training camp? Do I think the odds are more likely that he's playing for someone else than he is playing for Green Bay? I think that too. So again, I don't know how wide the door does not strike me as wide open, like removed from the hinges open. It strikes me as open a crack, and the possibility of it slamming with some wind coming through is possible. The possibility of it slowly closing is possible. And the possibility of maybe them pushing it open a little farther so he can walk back through the door and into Lambeau Field is possible too. But I still think the last one's the least likely.
Does the new defensive coordinator play a factor in any way?
I think he does. I think Xavier McKinney does.
In wanting him back, or
in wanting him back, but also influencing him. I do think it's important that while Matt LaFleur sometimes allowed his frustration to bubble up publicly with Jaire, so it was obvious, right? I never saw that from Jeff Hafley. I never saw him show that frustration. Every time Jeff Hafley would say, well, Jaire's hurt. He's injured. He's not available to us, so we got to figure something else out. So, I think he authentically, and I remember talking to him during the offseason last year and then during training camp again, and he really felt a connection with Hafley. He felt a really strong connection with the strength and conditioning staff, which he hadn't previously. Well, those factors are still there. Those people are still there that he feels respected by. He felt like he was on the same page with the training staff and the medical staff. Now, again, I don't know what this knee issue, this PCL tear or sprain or whatever they decided to term it at the time. I don't know if that changed the dynamic at all or not. I don't know. I do think that moment in Chicago where he said, all right, I'm going to play, and LaFleur said, okay, you're going to be on a pitch count, but we're going to get you out there. And then for him to pull himself after only playing 10 snaps in the first quarter, I don't know if they get past that or not. But I do know this. Matt LaFleur believes that Jaire Alexander is still a very good football player. Whether or not he's willing to, whether or not the organization is willing to pay him the salary he's owed, and whether or not they're willing to roll the dice again on whether he could stay healthy, that I don't know the answer to. But I don't have any doubt that when healthy, he is a very good football player. And I think his head coach and his defensive coordinator feel the same way.
And what do you believe is the thought around the league about his ability? My assumption is if there were teams that thought he was that good, that a trade would have been possible, likely. But maybe my presumption is wrong.
Well, I think the trade dynamic changes now, right? The draft is past us. So now, in theory, and again, I don't know, I have not asked Goody this. Goody did say that at the end of the draft, he was trying to engineer some trades where he would accumulate more picks for next year. Like a team wants to go up in the 7th round to take a specific player. And so Goody says, all right, well, give me your 7th rounder this year that's too far back, and give me next year's 7th, and then you can go up to 237 and get the guy you're targeting. He was trying to do that. Well, in Jaire's case now, if you trade him now, you can make it a conditional pick, right? So it could be a conditional 6th, and if he doesn't make your team, it's nothing. And if he ends up playing 12 games, it's a 5th-round pick. And if he ends up leading the league in interceptions, it's a 3rd-round pick. Like, now you can make conditional pick trades, and maybe that leads to a team saying, okay, I'm willing to take the chance on that now because I need corner help. And if I'm right about him as a different team, I get a bargain of this 2-time All-Pro, and he didn't really cost me much.
What has surprised you, if anything, in the process to this point?
Look, I have never heard a general manager during my time covering this team say that if he's not going to be on our roster, then I want to get something for him because we've invested a lot in him. I've just never heard that. And, Goody always likes to say that he doesn't deal in hypotheticals. But the first word of that quote is if. That's hypothetical. Hypothetically, if he's not on the team, well, I want to get something in return for him. So I was kind of hoping I'd have a chance during our 3 times that we talked to Goody over the draft. Say, let me ask you a hypothetical. And then he says, well, I don't answer hypotheticals. And I would say, well, you did it with Jaire if he's not on our team. But I didn't get the opportunity. So my point is that that's the surprise. Like between that and then he's on our roster right now, like again, the breadcrumbs that Goody has dropped have not been especially optimistic for him sticking around for another season. That doesn't surprise me, but the fact that he's kind of betrayed that publicly has been surprising to me.
Why is Goody doing it?
Because I don't think I think he has serious doubts about whether Jaire Alexander can play 12 out of 17 games for him. And at $16 million, if you're getting 8 games out of him, or, the last 2 years, 7 games out of him, that's a lot to pay for a guy that, and I do think this, I think coaches want certainty. And the uncertain nature of him being available week to week grates on coaches, and they have to try and figure out backup plans, and they got to rep guys at multiple spots. So if you're repping a guy at nickel and at outside corner because you don't know if Jaire is going to play or not, when you do that, then that guy's quality of work isn't as good, so then you're not as confident in wherever you have to play him. So coaches want a guy that they know they can count on, and Isaiah Simmons is a great example. Like, this is the linebacker
from the Giants that they just got.
Safety that they officially signed today. You could say he was the 8th overall pick. He hadn't played up to expectations. You can say all kinds of things about his career, but the dude's never missed a game. He is durable, and that counts for something. And obviously Jaire, the last 2 years, and then obviously when he suffered the shoulder injury in 2021, has not been durable.
And last question, do you think Goody, when this is over, would say, look, everybody was just in such a rush, nothing really changed from the very beginning, this was going to happen, it was just a question of how long it took or whatever, or do you think there's been any change with him?
I don't, but I don't know that for sure.
Right.
Again, I look at it as, if I'm Goody, and even if I've made up my mind that I don't want him back, I want to try like heck to get something for him. And now, like we just talked about, opening up the possibility of compensatory picks, maybe that says I'm willing.
And there's no rush. Like when will you come on and say, Homer, there's a rush now? Clearly, there's no rush now to do anything, correct?
Well, I mean, look, if they're going to keep him into training camp, which, again, feels unlikely,
right,
but if they're going to do that, then I hope they, here's the other problem. Like, I know Matt Schneidman from The Athletic went through all 154 photos that Evan Siegel took from yesterday's first on-field work with all the with the off-season program, and no pictures of Jaire, right? So I think he's probably right that he wasn't there. But if you're entertaining the possibility of him sticking around, then you can't be telling him, hey, you know what, until we get this figured out, don't come in. Like, if you think you might keep him, then you should let him take part. But, again, they also don't want him, tripping and falling on the curb on Oneida Street and wrenching his knee, and then they're on the hook for his salary because he suffered an injury.
They have reason to be worried about his injuries. All right. Appreciate it, Jason, and thanks for the extra time. And I feel pretty comfortable about my position at whatever.
I think he'll still be proven right.
1%.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Jason.
Yep. All right, Homer. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde, all Packers all the time. Let's see. The Bucs scored the first 13 points of the game, and Tony Smith said, Homer, it's a long game. I now have it at, I think, 42-32. The Bucs still ahead with about 4 minutes left to go. Thanks to Tony Smith and his legendary, and I know Pebble will put it up. But 94.5 ESPN having the Brewers game, correct? So that'll be a little bit after 6. Next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
How weird was that weekend involving Jaire Sanders, now a Cleveland Brown, formerly a Colorado Buffalo quarterback, supposedly a top draft prospect, slid in the draft, all that other thing. It was one of the weirdest weekends I can recall in recent memory involving somebody with that name, a supposed game, and also many people wondering why did he, quote-unquote, slide in the draft. Then we had the whole prank situation from the son of an assistant coach of the Atlanta Falcons. He did that to Jaire Sanders and other NFL draftees as well. This is what happens when too much celebrity has been inflicted on everybody that had nothing to do and everything to do with Jaire Sanders. He was that polarizing name. He was that polarizing person. And the more and more he kept not being drafted, the more polarizing that whole situation became on up the football field. I'm glad it's out of the way because now it's about if Jaire can or can't play, which should have been the whole thing all along with this whole situation. In 60 seconds, so you are allowed to play physical defense in the NBA again, huh?
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The NBA was determined to make sure that the beautiful aesthetic game of the NBA was going to stay that way. That meant no clutching, no grabbing, no pushing, no shoving. They'd rather have games, especially in the regular season, go 151 to 145 if that means that scoring was going to be up, and guys didn't have to worry about getting punished. Well, that's gone completely out of the window in the NBA playoffs. And the game has been better for it. Now, we're not going to see this kind of basketball in the regular season, but we should see something closer to that based on the compelling matches we've seen, no matter if it's been Knicks versus Pistons, Clippers versus Nuggets, Lakers versus Timberwolves, Rockets versus Warriors. Physical play is a part of basketball, and if it goes beyond the pale, guess what? You call a foul, or in the case of Pistons versus Knicks, you don't call a foul at the end of a ball game. Either way, being physical wasn't bad for the NBA then, and it's even better now. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC. Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Thanks to Tony Smith, Jason Wilde. Tony Smith filling in for John Anderson, the professor from Missouri, on assignment tonight. And legendary comments from Tony Smith about the future of Giannis. And you go to ESPNWisconsin.com. That's where it used to be Wisconsin On Demand. Correct, Pebble? I want to make sure
Correct,
I do it.
yes.
ESPNWisconsin.com and follow all the shows, and you will want to listen to, and it will be listened for a long time. By the way, Giannis is going to have a triple-double. He's already got 7 assists. He's getting other people involved. The Bucks scored the first 13 points, and they are now up by 11 with a couple minutes left to go in the first half. Yes, already the first half. Why? Because This series considered the least important by the NBA, and that's why the times have been so odd. But it would be special if they could pull it off. A win, and the Bucks would be back home for Game 6. The Discount Liquor Twitter poll question. I don't want to ask the question, but it must be asked by our poll. If the Bucks lose tonight, do you believe this will be Giannis's final game in a Milwaukee uniform? 40% say yes. 60% say no. Brewers, next.
We've got the left lane blocked on 894 eastbound, right about at 76th Street.